Hello and welcome to a spooky Halloween edition of Let's Talk About It with me, Steph.
And with me, Jorim.
Tonight we are reviewing Season 1, Episode 6 of Drag Race Holland. This week, the Makeover Challenge.
Makeover, it's a Mickey makeover.
It's such a fun challenge. We're going to see the family and friends of the queens. It's always going to be emotional. It's always going to be fun. So yeah, I'm really excited for this episode.
I love this episode, which normally I have a lot of issues with the makeover episodes, but that was not the case this week. Before we do start, I want to talk about the looks that we're giving you today. So it is Halloween when this video comes out. I just need to say a big thank you to two amazing independent artists. The first one is Sinomi Queen Bling. I'll put a link down below. And this queen made the custom earrings that I am wearing and the necklace. She makes them as clip-ons as well as normal earrings, and they're completely custom ordered. The other thing is this fantastic headpiece. This is from Funky Foam Creations. And as you can see, it doesn't even completely fit on the frame. So many amazing details. Funky Foam Creations, the owner, they make completely one-off designs. I'll put a link again in the description. They're just amazing. So please take a look at both of those. And thank you so much for helping me out with this costume today.
The designer of my costume is someone very special. It was the first time that I tried to do something like this, and I think I did an okay job. I think I would be safe.
Yeah, it's great. You know, it's Halloween. I think everyone should have a go at doing something, even if you're not super creative. If I didn't dress up for Halloween, then I wouldn't be here looking like this today.
So last week, the queens had an artistic nude photo shoot. Janie won, and they had to do the snatch game in the main challenge. Envy Peru wins the challenge. Cetagin and Abby, oh my god, had to lip sync for their life, and sadly, our beloved Belgian queen Cetagin had to sashay away. So sad.
It was. So the girls come back into the workroom. Cetagin has left a very short but sweet message. It was a party. That's all she's written. I can see why she might be a little mad about going home. But hey.
You know what I thought? In a previous episode, when Madame Madness didn't have to lip sync for her life, all the girls were talking about that. But they didn't talk about Abby this time, about her third time lip syncing.
I guess they're not talking about Abby lip syncing because that is normal at this point.
True.
So it's a new day in the workroom, and all the girls are behind the tables, and they're talking about that they're halfway through. It's a top 5, and then whoop whoop, surprise! It's a rumel, and it says mirror mirror on the wall, who's the greatest of them all. In the end, it'll be just one, but it takes 2 to have a little fun.
Bit of a weird room message and not a lot to do with the episode. But then Fred walks in and he recaps the prizes because apparently he has to. And then we find out the girls this week have the mini challenge, which is Save the Date.
The girls are going to have a blind date with the finalist of the Bachelorette called Nick Marijnissen. They had to choose the dessert, and they had to do an improv acting challenge where they go on a date with this guy and they go to the bathroom, and then when they come back, the guy decides to leave. He's like, bye bitch, and they have to convince him to stay with. And I think this is a really fun challenge. I always love the improv challenge. It's always fun.
Each of the girls needs to dig deep and show us how their drag character would make the guy stay on the date. I don't know about you. I've never been on a date where the guy has wanted to leave, you know. But it was a fun challenge idea, and I think the girls all had different approaches to it. Does anyone stand out to you?
For me, Mama Queen was my all-time favorite. Janie Jacquet, she looks very good with the hair. I expected a little bit more of her. She has a big personality, and the dancing was really cute, what she did in the end. But no, my 2 favorites were Envy Peru and Mama Queen.
Yeah, I think my favourites were Mama Queen and also Abby as well. Some of the looks were a bit confusing for this challenge. Janie wore a dance outfit, which I didn't really understand. And Chelsea made the decision to play more like a cross-dresser for laughs, which I thought we were past that, but we're not. Abby looked great and Mama looked amazing as well. I think Abby actually, did you notice she looked a lot like Shea Coulee in this challenge?
I was just thinking that with the small afro, she looked amazing, and I was getting Shea vibes all over.
Even her eye makeup, I don't know if it was intentional, but the whole thing just really came together. And I think as well, Mama and Abby were both the most memorable in the challenge.
Oh my god. Oh, wow.
So yes, it was a really fun challenge. Mama Queen made me laugh the most, and she's also the winner of this week's challenge. The Bachelorette finalist announces that Mama Queen is the most memorable.
And Mama Queen wins a trip to Rotterdam, which sounds more exciting than it probably is, because I feel like Rotterdam's not that far away. But anyway.
Well, at least she can sleep in a nice bed. It's fine.
Yeah, of course. So we find out that the challenge this week is going to be the makeover challenge, which always worries me a little bit at this point in the season, just because often it can reward girls who haven't been doing very well. But it was actually a really heartfelt episode this week, and there was no shenanigans, and it was also genuine, so I actually really ended up enjoying it.
Yeah, the makeover episode is always the episode where everything can change. And so for Envy Peru, they brought her mama back. For Janie Jacquet, she also brought her mama back. For Abby, oh my god, her brother. For Chelsea Boy, her best friend. And for Mama Queen, and a big round of applause, her dad, Hans, the most amazing dad. He is the queen of the show. Oh, what an inspiration.
It was great. It was so, I think all the queens needed to see their family members at this time. I think it helped all their emotions, especially given the current situation. Like seeing anyone being close to someone is always great. So it was a good time for this challenge to come. And then we find out that one of the guest judges this week will be Rian van Dust, which leads to a slightly awkward moment with Mama Queen. But Mama wasn't as bad as Alyssa doing Katie, so I think it was fine and they got over it.
So for me, it feels like this is the first time in this whole series that there's like a walkthrough, but this time it's Rihanna, and it's really nice to see that she's going through all the queens with all their families and a special moment. It's really nice to see.
Yeah, it gave us a good chance to get to know all of the queens and also the makeover candidates a little bit more. Rihanna starts with speaking to Mama Queen and Hans. And, you know, this is the first time that someone's dad has been on the show. And this was a really great conversation. They talk about how Hans is more traditional, but at the same time supports Mama Queen completely.
He sees himself as an average guy, and an average guy doesn't have that much problems. And when you're an extraordinary guy or a gay guy, you have reactions and comments and everything about it. And he's there to support his son and to be a example for other families. And I think it's a really, really, really inspiring thing to see.
I think it was great because he explains and it makes it clear that it's not always a thing about being homophobic or anything that causes a parent to have views on their kids. His concern is for his son's safety. So I can understand that. It's not that he disagrees, but at the same time, like, look at the kinds of people that we get when they have supportive parents. Look at the amazing queen that Mama is. Look at Envy as well and Janie. It's so important.
It's exactly what I want to say. It's exactly my point. Exactly. The thing what Mama said was so inspiring. She said, is it easier to not be yourself? Do I express myself the way I want to, which is riskier, or do I limit myself, which is safer, but what makes you happier? And I think that she is living her true self. And then Rihanna walks to Abby and her brother, and it's really nice to see how this family connects to each other. It's a really nice brother love protection. He supports her career.
Yeah, and we find out that Abby is only really in touch with her brother now, and that she's not really in touch with the rest of her family, which, you know, it's really sad. It's great that she had the support mechanism, and, you know, we know she's got a boyfriend as well. What I found interesting was the relationship where the brother said, what was his name?
Victor.
Yeah, and her brother Victor, he says that he sees Abby as a strong male role model. And if anything, the fact that she does drag makes her stronger. I think that's another great relationship that we get to see on screen. So that's Abby. Next, we get Chelsea Boy for all of 20 seconds.
I know, right?
Wasn't a lot of story for this one. They just had, this is Chelsea's best friend. Let's move on.
Chelsea Boy.
Rihanna.
Als ik dat durf.
Ga je voor de winst?
Absolutely.
Exactly. Well, he's my best friend. I mean, maybe insecure about my feminine side.
It seemed like the basic, like, oh, I'm going to do drag, but I'm scared. And it was like, okay, cool. But I think they were right to just move on because there was a lot of other things to cover. Like, drag is fun, so have fun, but there really wasn't a lot to talk about with Chelsea's partner.
True.
Then we find out about Envy and her mum and their relationship together. And they tell us that they essentially ran away to Holland together because Envy's father wasn't supportive. And they've just built their life up, which I think is great. You can really see a strong bond between the two of them.
Yeah, it's really special to see the unconditional love that they have for each other. They have their difference, and it's hard for sometimes it's hard for each other to accept, but they always respect each other. And it's good to see it. Time will tell, and everything will come together.
Time did tell. Envy tells us that she made contact with her family 13 years later. Something like that. And her dad wrote back and he basically said that he lost her for 18 years and didn't want to lose her again. So I think that's a really positive relationship as well that's been shown for us. And I just appreciated this episode that it was just showing really positive things for all the girls.
Couldn't agree with you more.
It was a nice episode. I really liked it.
Yeah.
It's cute. I liked it a lot.
And so then they enter Janie Jacquet.
Ew, Michelle.
And she tells them that she's from Volendam, a small fish town. And I think that's where her entrance line came from. Because the OG fish.
Yeah, that makes sense now. I was so mad when that was her entrance line, though. Like, just
I know.
Code. But anyway,
I know, but I think I correct the code here.
Yeah.
But they talk about that when she was a child, she was being bullied, and her and her father had a rough relationship. She and her mom are very close together, so it's a beautiful story to see how this family has their love for each other.
Yeah, it is, because Janie opens up and tells us that they unfortunately did lose her father, but that she was able to get some closure before that did happen, and that the relationship did start to build. So again, that's really nice to see that all these different queens, they've had different experiences.
Yeah.
All got a positive family looking after each other. So I think that was really nice to see from all of them.
So the next day, it's elimination day, and all the queens and family members walk in, and Papa Queen shaved his beard for the first time in 35 years. Mama Queen has never seen her dad without her beard.
Can you imagine knowing someone for all your life and then them just completely changing? Crazy. But
I know. What a supportive family member.
I loved it. So everyone comes in, they're all freshly shaved. The ladies are ready to go. They're all talking about doing the challenge and how they're feeling about getting into drag. And then they're all practicing their walks.
I think it was cute. I think it was cute to see them all walk in heels. But oh my God, why would you put your father in those high heels? But second of all, he rocked those high heels.
He did a great job. Like, odd choice to put your dad in loose like stripper heels, especially when you've got Envy's mum wearing like pumps. But anyway, Hans did a really great job. I have to shout out Janie's mum. Was just such an icon. She was by far the best in the heels.
Everything that Janie does excites me, makes me smile. And when I see her with her mother and her relationship, I see her love and what they're doing. It's so cute. It's so cute.
Yeah, Janie's mum had such a great attitude. Her walk was by far the best. And then Chelsea's partner's walk was not the best. And when we see the runway later on, the whole issue could have been completely avoided. Looking at the look that they presented, there was no need for either of them to even be wearing heels. So it was a weird choice that they did that.
Yeah, but the whole outfit was a choice.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
When they all get in drag, Papa Queen looks at himself and he's like, didn't even recognize himself.
I think that was a little bit of a dramatic statement. You could still see it was him. I think overall the makeup was really good that was presented though. I think Envy's mum and Janie's mum both looked gorgeous. There was no real Miss Cookie moment though, which was sad.
Oh my god.
I want to be wowed and none of the makeovers wowed me.
When I looked at Papa Queen's makeup and I saw all the bright colors, I was like, okay, this is gonna be or really good or really bad or But no, nothing excited me really. Janie's mom looked amazing, and of course Envy Peru, everything that Envy touches changes into gold or glitter or whatever. So she can't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I think just what I missed in this makeover was because they were doing family members, it meant that there was women as well. So we only really had Chelsea, Abby, and Mama's makeovers were on guys. Mama's makeover was never going to be a huge transformation because there are limits to how much cosmetics you can put on older skin. Chelsea's makeup look wasn't particularly transformative on her partner. And then Abby's partner was just Abby's pretty makeup on a slightly less pretty face. So there was no massive transformations, and that's what I missed in this episode.
And I think they did a good job. I think they did it.
Oh.
What's happening?
So Fred walks out in this pastel, fluffy, ruched, cinched, amazing look. And this is the best that Fred has looked, hands down, without question. This look was amazing. I loved it.
A vision in purple.
Oh, it was so good. Really, really loved this look.
He looks like this huge cotton candy. He looks delicious. The hair, the makeup, the colors, everything is purple. Everything is perfect. Not purple. Perfect.
It was also purple. I really liked it.
It was a purple perfect thing.
And then they start introducing the judges, and it did make me laugh a little bit. Even Fred now seems to be getting bored of Nikki. She was better this week, and the judging panel actually as a whole was such an improvement on last week as well.
So the other judge is Rianne van Dorst. She's we know her from Snatch Game from last week. And the other judge is Loisa Lamers, and she's a transgender model. She won the Dutch Next Top Model, but she refused to sign the contract because of things. But she's a role model for a lot of people in the core community.
Yeah, she was gorgeous as well. I just want to say, she was so gorgeous. Overall, this judging panel, it really shows that when you have people who are part of the community, that it makes such a difference on the episode. So I really appreciated that. So we find out, of course, the runway is going to be We Are Family. It's the makeover challenge. This week for the Runway Rundown, we do have a special guest, as ever. Now, the guest this week, I've followed him on Instagram for a while. He's one of those people who I hate because they're basically good at everything. He's a talented performer. He was a principal dancer for Matthew Bourne's Swan Lake. He's also a talented makeup artist, performer, and actor. So joining us this week, we do have Jack William Parry, who is better known on Instagram as Rouged Milk.
Hi everyone, I am Rouged Milk, aka Jack William Parry. I'm a makeup artist / creative director / photographer based in London, and I'm currently filming this in front of my hotel room sink. Without further ado, let's get going. The runway theme for this week is "We Are Family." I had to do it. Okay, I love what's going on here. I love the silhouettes. I'm a big fan of the body, so being a dancer, it's good to see. Love to see it. I'm a big fan of the colours too. I like that they have a theme, that it's not any old outfit that they've kind of shoved together. They really work together, and there's a story going on here. I'm a big storyteller. Oh. I'm not sure on that one. I don't want to be mean. I hate the pinata donkey, whatever we've got going on. There's a lot going on. The hair is one thing, which I think is really cool actually. The hair's great. Then you've got the colours, and then the animal, I don't know. It cheapens it, I think, and it makes it a bit costumey. I think more could be done. It's so hard to compare when there's so much Drag Race out there now, not to kind of compare it to what you've seen before, but personally, I enjoy it. I think they look beautiful. I like that they haven't gone for the same silhouette with both of them. You know what, the more I look at it, the more I like it actually. Sometimes you just gotta sit back and see things for what they are. I'm here for it already. Out of all the four so far, this is my favourite for sure. Big hair, the closer to heaven the better. Big is also very, very neat, very clean. You can obviously see the family resemblance here. Whereas with, I think, some of the others, they've kind of gone with like a concept and kind of said, okay, let's go with this kind of umbrella idea, but let's kind of add individual things to what we're wearing, which I don't think is a bad thing, but I think sometimes it can look like it's a bit jumbled, a bit of a jumble sale. There's too much going on. I'm a big fan, and in my work as well, I like things that are quite simple and clean. I mean, I can't really speak for myself right now, can I? But I like things that are simple and clean, quite editorial. I mean, don't put that in. Even though they're both different, it still looks very uniform, and they're just slaying it. I'm yeah, huge fan of that. Sorry. No, from me. Wishy-washy, I think. I mean, I'm sure I could probably find that outfit in a charity shop in London, but sorry. Yeah, no, not for me, not for my taste. I'm sure it caters to someone else's. Again, going back to what I said, I think like here they've gone, okay, I'll wear a maxi, you wear a mini skirt, mini dress. Let's wear a different colour. You know, could have been saved with a good old wig, a good wig, that is. Okay, so to round up, We Are Family. I think that there was some really interesting, I'm actually quite surprised at how many kind of stories that were going on there and how many concepts. Because I think with the family challenge, which is actually one of my favourite challenges every season, because you really get to see how the queens are able to transform other people over themselves. And actually, one thing I will say is that from watching it for the first time, I couldn't directly say, oh, that's the queen and that's the family member. So that's a positive. I think they did a good job. I think that the bar could be pushed a bit higher. There are definitely some strong contenders in there. I think I've already kind of hinted at who that might be for me. But yeah, my personal preference, big hair, long hair, big old silhouette, I'm sold. So thank you so much for having me. I've really enjoyed this. Please be sure to check out my work on @Rouged Milk. That's Rouge, not rough. Or @Jack William Parry for all things dance. You can see why I have this face on right now. If you go on my highlights on my dance page, you'll see kind of what this is all about. But happy Halloween! Hey, I'm so honoured to be the guest for the Halloween episode. I've had so much fun. Thank you so much, and peace out.
That was the Runway Rundown this week with Jack, aka Rouged Milk. Thank you for joining us for that. If you want to follow Jack, see all of his amazing makeup looks, you can do so @Rouged Milk on Instagram. I will leave a link in the comments below. Now, the runway this week. Who did you think was on the top and who did you put in the bottom?
They're all bottoms.
For me, Janie was in the top. I really liked the concept and I really liked the storyline that they were telling. Love that. The Mama Queen was a little bit weird, but because it was her dad, I was like, okay, you get a safe pass for that. I didn't like the llama alpaca thing of Envy. It was like, no, there was no.
Oh, I agree. That seems kind of cheap from Envy, almost. It was a great story, but I do think that it was not the best this week. The looks that I loved the most, I have to agree, Janie, I thought did a great job and was really respectful, and her mum looked fantastic. I also did love Abby's take on the challenge with the Mortal Kombat looks, and I thought that was great. Bottoms for me would also be Mama and Chelsea. What did you think of the judging this week? Because for me, it felt very real compared to other weeks in a way that I was really happy to see. Doesn't mean that I agree with everything that was said, but you could tell that it wasn't really, they weren't forcing any storylines or anything this week.
No, that's true, but they were missing something from Mama Queen, even though she came out on with her dad in a dress, on heels, pregnant. But also I thought she had a baby. She had a glitter baby, so she could give birth on the stage. Maybe that's what they were missing.
I'm very glad that she did not do that. The judging, some of it that I had a problem with, the judging that they had with Janie, they called it a bit old-fashioned. I could not disagree more with that, to be honest with you.
They said it was old school and it was already done. And I was like, no. This is perfection. It is exactly, it's a storyline. It's clean. It's sexy because Janie looked like a sexy princess. Her mom was an elegant, beautiful queen.
I loved it. This was the one part where it started to remind me why I don't like makeover challenges. Just because it's so easy for them to twist what they're looking for. In this case, they were like, you made it too much about your mum. And I was like, but the mum is the special guest who is being made over. And the story was about respecting your mum. So I took issue with that.
I'm going to have to write a letter. That bothers me.
And isn't that exactly the same reason why Envy won?
Exactly. So a little bit of funny judging. I also would like to say that the comment about Abby's look, that they could have purchased it from a costume store, I thought that was so off the mark. Like, Abby looked really great and so did her partner. I would love to know where you think you could go and buy that off the rack, because those outfits were really, really great.
I want to know so too, because then I can go there and buy some of those boots.
Chelsea, now this is a shame because I love the movie Mars Attacks that her look was based on. And I love that she had that idea. But the judges were right. She didn't really give any performance to it. And she could have done better.
Yeah, well, it's starting to getting... The group is starting to get smaller. So you have to watch out. because every detail counts. So it was a bit boring. I expected, because I've seen so many great things from Chelsea Boy in the last few episodes. This episode, I was like, no.
Yeah, I do think she dropped the ball a little bit. Doing the look that she did, she obviously has seen the film. So I don't understand, especially when she found out her partner couldn't walk in heels. Their dresses were long enough that they could have just done the little shuffle and not really seen their feet. And that would have been closer to the characters they were portraying. The other thing as well, they didn't have the chewing gum, which is the one iconic thing for the character that they were trying to do. So she dropped the ball, and it's a shame because she's such a good queen.
Also the fact, her partner said that he wants to find his feminine side. Was it that feminine? Was it that girly? No, it wasn't.
I mean, I think it was a feminine look. You know, it's the hypersexualized, you know, the pointy boobs, that kind of era. I think it's just that comes down against the makeup, where Chelsea's makeup isn't particularly transformative when on someone else. So I think she looked less feminine than she could have done as well.
Fred asked the family and friends to tell their queens why they are so proud of them and why they should win. And I think it was a really special moment. It made me emotional. I cried with Janie and Envy. Their story, it brought tears to my eyes. It was a good moment. Drag Race did a good job.
Really lovely to see that. And this is the Drag Race that I love, where it's natural and they're embracing all the positive things about drag and their relationships, and they're not trying to force dramas to happen. If you've not seen the episode, or if you don't quite remember what was going on, just watch it back, because we can't speak to the strength of emotions that was shown this week. And I feel like for me, myself, I would be doing it an injustice to try and explain it to you guys again.
No, it was a really special moment. Drag Race did a really good job with this, and you need to watch this episode. And I think it was a changer in the game for all the girls.
It really was. So much so that we come back to the Untucked segment, and the girls are talking again, and we have a little moment with Envy and Janie. And Janie really opens up and shows her vulnerable side, I suppose. And yeah, the confessional from Envy is a little bit cliched and manufactured. Like, oh, we're seeing her vulnerability. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't so good to see that from Janie.
Yeah, and I really loved the special moment that Janie had with Mama Queen's dad. That was so special. And seriously, guys, watch the episode, because of Janie already had a special place in my heart, but this made me even love her even more.
This is one of the best makeover challenges, and it's because of the queens and their family members, and I just really loved it. I really did. What I did not love was the results of the judging this episode, though.
No,
I did not.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't.
So we come back to the main stage, and Fred announces that, yet again, Envy Peru is the winner of this week's challenge. And at this point, even Envy's like,
You're joking. Not another one?
Again.
And to be honest, she had a strong look. I just think that everything that they praised Envy for this week are things that Janie did in her presentation as well. And I get maybe why Janie didn't win, because the look was basic, if you want to say that. But she had no business being in the bottom this week whatsoever.
Well, I don't think it was basic compared to Envy Peru's look. Because
basic's the wrong words. There was less going on visually.
Yeah. So the first queen that Fred announced is Abby, oh my god, and she is safe.
She is, and to be honest, I wouldn't have minded Abby winning this week. I would have took that before another Envy win. And honestly, I think it could have been justified for it to deserve that because her presentation on the runway was also really, really top notch. So I can't believe that I'm saying this, but Abby should have won this week.
You think?
I think Abby or Janie, certainly one of the two.
Janie, I definitely agree, but oh my God, you and Abby, oh my God.
No, I feel like, Envy did not need another challenge win, and they could have given it to Janie or Abby. I think Janie deserved it absolutely. And obviously they decided that Janie was going to be in the bottom for whatever reason. So with Janie not being an option, then Abby could have won. Would not have been mad at all.
I know.
No, so Abby's safe. Mama is also declared safe.
So the bottom two queens are Janie Jacquet and Chelsea Boy, and they have to lip sync for their life against, not against, but to a song from Dolly Parton, A 9 to 5.
I have been waiting for this to be a lip sync song for so long. You have no idea. I love this song, and for me, this is the best lip sync we've had this season. At least Janie.
Janie cooked it, she grilled it, she put it in a microwave, she put it on a plate, she put a velvet napkin on it because she was serving it.
It was so good. Oh, it was amazing. So the look is right, she's got the attitude down, and when she started doing this little Western shuffle,
Working 9 to 5.
everything that she did was so right for the song. And I think, honestly, anyone would have had a hard time beating Janie in this lip sync. But Chelsea,
Chelsea Boy, she tried, but she forgot the first line, and I think she tried to do it on a comic way, but Janie was just eating it up. She gave me a little bit of a Willem vibes, with a little bit of country, sexy, and I think I am happy that the judges put her in the bottom with this song.
yeah.
So they could entertain us with this. So Janie wins and Chelsea Boy is a shade away, and we have to say goodbye to a very talented, amazing, funny queen. And I think that the world is not even ready to see what she can do and what she's going to bring to us, because she did so many good things. And Chelsea Boy, I wish you all the luck.
Yeah, Chelsea's had a fantastic run this season. She's one of the most memorable queens, certainly for the runway. And, we're at the top 4 now, where we were always going to lose 1 or 2 queens who have been doing really well. But I have no real problems with this episode, and I'm really happy with how it ended up.
Yeah, so we have our final 4, and it is not the final 4 that I predicted, and it's definitely not the final 4 that you predicted. But you know what?
We're living in a universe where Sedishin and Chelsea Boy got sent home. But hey, what can you do? This is where we're at, and I think Abby did all she needed to redeem herself this week. We had a fantastic lip sync. We had a really, really enjoyable challenge, and this is the drag race that I love to see.
Yes. Abby did amazing. I loved Janie. This top 4 is great, and I cannot wait for next week, because then it's going to be Rusical Maxima.
Yes, I've been waiting this entire season for the Rusical episode. They are always my favourite. Season 6, Glamazonian Airways in season 7. I always love the Rusicals.
Bitch Perfect.
Oh, of course. Yes. Oh, so good.
Trump Rusical, Kardashians Rusical.
Admittedly, I wish it had come sooner, so that more of the girls could have done this kind of challenge, but I cannot wait to see the top 4 and find out which girls are going to make the finale. We hope you enjoyed this week's video. As always, make sure you do find us on social media. You'll find me on Instagram at Tastebrew, Tayspru.
And you can find me at Jorim Soeters. You can find it. It will be here. And if you're also annoyed by this, then bitch, girl, we're in the same game. Took me a few hours, but this. But thanks for watching so much. Like, subscribe.
So yeah, make sure you follow us. Follow Rouged Milk as well. You'll find the link below. And that was it. We'll see you guys next week. Bye. Also, I put nails on this week.
Oh, me too.
Makes a change. If you enjoyed this week's video, be sure to give it a like, drop us a subscribe using the button below, and leave us a comment. This week, tell us who you think should win Drag Race Holland. Thank you, and we will see you next week.
Dasha!
Dasha! Can't say it.
I know, but still, Dasha!
Dasha! Is that right? Dasha!
Right.